Just give me a second while I just... Right, I think we're good. So I wanted to give today on the live stream, it's the Wednesday live stream, I want to give a little update on where we are with the house ahead of the other vlogs. And also we're going to have a little walk and just talk about moving to rural Thailand, some important points that I think people should know. I've called it escaping the matrix, because sometimes that's what I think we're doing out here, escaping the matrix. I just want to check, can everybody hear me okay? If you could shoot me a message, just so I can know that you guys are hearing me and the setup is correct. Yeah, so let's start with a little walk around of the build. Let's flip the camera over. So as you can see here, the tiling has been at the front, so the front porch here. I'm going to try and keep my camera a little bit more still than last time. People said it was a bit shaky last time, so here you can see the front porch is done. David Walters, thanks for that. You said it's loud and clear. Good. We've put in some little flower beds here at the front, as you know, just to plant some plants, make it look nice at the front. You can see the two lights are there at the side of the door, and the balcony has been done, painted and underneath. Let's go on in. The builders are still here. I've had to politely ask them not to cut for a minute while I do this live stream. So they're just cutting the tiles here, ready for the porch. And then, as you can see, the floor tiles is done. This is going to be in this weekend's vlog. Floor tiling is done in the main room, and we got the floor tile done in the bedroom. We've got, let's check on upstairs. It's just going to be a flying tour this, because the builders want to get back to work and be noisy again. Up here, out onto the balcony, you can see that the tiling's been done up here too. And there's the view. So that's it, guys. That's a quick once around. Now, this will all be in much more detail in the vlogs and over the weekend. And also I'm going to be showing how they did it. So nice and fast they are. They're really good builders, these guys. Squeeze under here. So you'll see more detail on how they did it. These tiles, although they look like wood, they are the tiles. So they're that wood effect, but the tiles, and that means they're just going to be longer lasting, and they're comfortable enough, and they look like wood. Tis, do you want to say hi? Yeah. Come on then.
Hi.
Do you know who we're talking to?
Yeah.
Who is it?
No.
It's everybody,
Oh.
isn't it?
Yeah.
So you got to say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
It's everybody watching our live stream. And Rosie's here too, aren't you, girl? There you go.
Do you want to eat the camera?
So I'm going to go for a little walk now, yeah? But I'll see you in a bit, yeah?
Bye.
Bye. Right then, so a little walk and talk. So I called the vlog Escaping the Matrix. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about, if you are going to move to Thailand, just some things to consider. The hardest part of living in Thailand is the fact that you can't just do a normal job here. So you can't just drive a tuk-tuk. It'd be good if you could, couldn't you? Farangs driving around in tuk-tuks. You can't just do a job that a Thai can do. So you're limited in your scope of work. And I think that people that work online, digital nomads, people that have an income online, for instance, Damo has an Instagram business online, you have an advantage, because it means if you're a designer, a web designer, if you can teach online, that kind of thing, you have an advantage. And the rules are not quite clear yet on this. I think it's a bit of a grey area. There's going to be a digital nomad visa coming in, but I think your main priority is like, how's your income coming in? If you want to get out into Thailand, then otherwise, I really feel the advantages of living here are that the accommodation, the rent is cheap. It's very, very cheap. And food, obviously, living expenses are low. And what I found the trick of it is instead of trying to earn more, we live in a society, of course, that says you've got to earn more and more and more. And then you end up buying more and more. Oh, are you coming?
And then they come in.
Right. I'm going to be talking though while we walk, okay?
Yeah.
Right. We have a tendency to earn more and more and more, and then when you earn more, you buy more, right? You buy a new car, you buy a new house, buy a second home, whatever. I feel like one of the key messages that I want to spread is if you really want to get free, work on not only just earning more, but reducing your monthly costs. So spending less. And in Thailand, you're at an advantage if you're earning in the US online or you're earning in the UK. You're at an advantage already because you're going to spend less. You know, your monthly expenses are going to be lower. And so I think that's one of the advantages and one step to escaping the matrix. I mean, what does it mean to escape the matrix? I personally, from my point of view, for me, it's been a journey outside, getting out of the corporate world. It's been getting out of the systems where you kind of you become a slave to, sorry, we just got, Martin says here, working on spending less time working. Yeah. You know, when you work for a company, obviously you're paid for your time. And your time you have to spend doing what they want you to do. So it's finding ways to emancipate yourself from those systems. And now we live in such a technological age that there's so many opportunities to do that, right? So many opportunities in this digital world to work online and get yourself as free as possible. When I first came to Thailand, I was a teacher. So even then I was part of the systems. I was in the schools and I had to kind of be in at a certain time, be out at a certain time. And you're earning quite a very low wage. Then I went on to have my own business here, my jazz lounge. But even then, I was kind of stuck in that lounge playing saxophone every day. And I had to be there because if I wasn't there, people wouldn't visit, you wouldn't earn money, you're kind of part of the system. I've been trying to find ways and means to kind of separate myself from having to be in one place and be doing what we want to do as a family and being free together. And I think there are many opportunities now in a digital world that you can do that. Now, if at first you don't have any options like that, I say just travel. Just come over here and check it out. Try and get yourself 6 months. I think that's a good start, you know. I came over with the intention of staying 6 months, and now it's been 14 years. And I have a lot of friends like that. Some of them are Thailand vloggers. And there are a lot of friends like that ended up coming over for a short period and staying. And of course, it's not just Thailand. There's Cambodia, which is very cheap to live. I believe Mexico is very cheap as an option as well. So there are many options. So CR said, in Bangkok, I saw many foreigners working as property agents. Yeah, there are a number of foreigners working as property agents, usually companies set up by foreigners as well. And in Phuket, there's a lot of that. So there are many industries that you can work in Thailand, not just teaching. I was working in hospitality, so I was working for a hotel, and I've worked for the Coffee Club Thailand. So there are many jobs that you can do here. But for me, what I've been trying to work on is how can we produce enough food ourselves so that you can lower your monthly costs and so kind of live free for longer, you know. I think I touched this in the last live stream, but I was called like our cheap Charlie for building a house cheaply. And obviously my car, 22-year-old Betty Blue, doing things like that, not spending huge lump sums on cars and a house, will mean you can buy that thing that is the most important thing in life, right? And that's time. And I see that as important because it's time for us two together. It's time together as a family, isn't it, Tess?
Yeah. Actually, then the cottage nearly finished, yeah?
The cottage is nearly finished, isn't it?
Yeah, let's go that way, yeah?
We're going to show them our new place.
Yeah.
We walk every day, don't we?
Yeah.
So we'll we're going to show you our new place where we go and walk to every day out in the rice
Yeah.
fields. Right then.
Let's go.
So I also, yep.
Actually, Otis and Indy taking the neck right there.
All right then.
That's good.
So I also feel this is a bit of a hot topic as well, because so many people are interested in going self-sustainable these days, and we are no experts at this. We're really not. I think anybody who's been watching this channel for longer than a year or so knows that. I mean, we started as complete amateurs, and now we're producing, let's say, 25-30% of our food. We have an on-grid solar system that is contributing to lowering the energy costs, although I will say that relatively energy costs are quite low in Thailand. Like for the whole farm, I pay about 1,500 baht a month for that. That's after the solar. Maybe without the solar, that bill would be 2,500 baht. So the impact of the solar, it's quite a high capital expense to put out with a low impact, but it is lowering your monthly costs, and that's the aim of the game for us. How do you lower your monthly costs so you don't have to go into your savings, and then you have time? Each month that you save money is another month that you can kind of be free and do what you want. Yeah?
Daddy, we're over there.
We're almost there, yeah?
Yeah.
Come on then.
Sure.
So working online, that's one step forward to getting yourself free living in Thailand. I think the other thing is, and I will mention this, like many foreigners come to Thailand and they have like a lump sum or retirement money, and it's supposed to last them for like, they say, this will last me for like 20 years, 30 years, but then they end up blowing it all in the bars. And that is the biggest, I think, it's only my opinion, this stuff, but that's the biggest challenge of living in paradise, is that you don't get stuck in the bars. Like the bars are a lot of fun and it's great, and I spent years partying and that stuff, but if you get stuck there, you end up blowing all your money and you've got no money left. And that happens a lot. But you don't have to be a millionaire to come over to live in Thailand. You just have to have an idea of what it's going to cost. And oh, it looks like our friends in our place. Let's have a look, Tis. What do you have? ไปเดินเล่นนะครับใช่ครับคุณทำอะไรนะครับอ๋อเลี้ยงวัวเหรอ So he said he's just taking care of his cows over there in the field. So this is what most people are doing. You may recognize this guy. He does a lot of the ceremonies at our place. When we have a new house opening or a blessing, he's the guy that leads it, and he sings. He's very, very good. But he's looking after his cows now. This is our little place where me and Tis come now on our daily visits, and we sit down here and have a chill. So I'm just going to deal with a couple comments here as well. We've got Cosmo from Belgium. Hi, Cosmo. Andre Brett from Quebec City. Oh, nice. We have Tessilita Tofua. Hi, love your family and beautiful house. Thank you very much. Thank you. Kevin Whale. Just started to dig my lake in Udon Thani. That's a big job.
Daddy, like a fun next one. Wait there for the dawn, you know.
All right, then we'll go there instead, yeah?
Yeah.
Bye bye. We actually haven't dug a lake yet, and we have considered it, but we've not seen much need for it at the moment. It is good if you're farming big areas for irrigation, for the water, but our operation is so small, it doesn't require it. Her dad has one out in the rice field, a little lake there where he keeps all the fish, and that's his main water supply. So we're just getting him a solar pump at the moment, actually. Tis is just here, very excited for our walk. There he is. So I just want to say hi to Larry Solberg from Sweden. Mycket bra, må bra. Matt, good to see you, Matt. Matt Smith. Thanks for jumping on. Cosmo in nice warm Thailand, that's it. Beautiful warm weather today. Rosie B, can't wait to escape the matrix. Well, I'm glad there's people out there that know what I'm talking about, escaping the matrix. I thought it was a little bit, what's the word, existential or something, the title, but I think people can resonate. David says beautiful views. Rosie says beautiful. I'm coming. Capral Viking says greetings from Khon Kaen, just up the road from us. Another beautiful area. Rob C says, I live in my own condo in the most comfortable life here in Pattaya that costs me around 5,000 Aussie dollars a year, and I do most everything comfortably. So that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. When I say escaping the matrix, I ain't talking about just coming out to rural Thailand and living in a rural area. It's a mental escape, and it's what we do with our time. Are we free to wake up when you want, go to sleep when you want, do what you want, not be stuck in the 9-to-5 slavery, which is kind of what it is. And you guys have seen on this channel that I've been there. I've worked at the top of the corporate business, and I've left. I've resigned because it was making me sick. So I've seen it, and I've seen this side of things. And for me, escaping the matrix is not just about living out in the middle of nowhere. It's emancipating ourselves from systems and becoming more mentally free as well. Free in the mind, free in the body, and free in the mind. And we're living in an age where technology is allowing that more and more. That's cool.
Yeah, and when you see a big hole, you need to do like that, you know. Now you cannot fall in.
That's a good point, isn't it? Right, you show us the way, that way. So you've got two of us on live stream today. So let me just go back to the comments. There's quite a lot of comments coming through at the moment. Jonathan Turnbull, greetings from the Lake District in England. Pretty but wet and cold. Love you guys. Big love, Jonathan. And yeah, I love the Lake District up there. You can be free there too, yeah? It's although what I do find is in the West, in the UK and the USA and whatnot, the problem is that the cost of living is so high with council tax and rent and well, just tax just about on everything that it makes the situation a lot more difficult. Whereas when you're living in a country, and again, this is only my opinion, but if you're living in a country this side of the world, the living costs are lower and your money goes a lot further, a lot longer. It's also, I will also try and touch on this, there's like a safety net here. So, you know, you keep X amount in savings, which you know will cover you for a year or 2 years or whatnot. And whereas in the UK and the US, that might be quite difficult because relatively it's a higher amount of money. Here we're living in an economy that is functioning on people earning maybe $300, $400 a month. And so prices reflect that economy because goods need to be sold. And so it's not like cheating the system or something, but it is, if you can live in a country where prices are lower, tax is lower, and food is cheaper, and even better yet, you can produce your own food. That is one step forward to escaping the matrix. Stephen Pavey says, Thailand gave me disposable income. Just had to be careful what you dispose it on. Yeah, be careful where you put your disposable income. It's yeah, 101, isn't it? Savings 101. Jason and Mint. Hello, long-term subscriber from Bang San. Hey guys, yeah. Hope you're doing well over there. Thanks for joining our little stream today. I'm never sure what time to jump on the stream. I have a feeling that it would do better later. But by that time, it's quite dark. I was tempted to do... We're almost there, yeah? I was tempted to do a night stream last night. And I was setting up the camera, the good camera, the DJI Pocket for it. But it kind of fell through. I will do a night stream from the balcony once the cottage is finished. What are you doing? Right, you throw those rocks. So, hi Jam Life in Thailand. Good to see you. Thanks for joining the stream. Sarah BD, good morning from the UK. Hi Sarah. Hope the weather's nice there at the moment, but I think there's some flooding. My family told me there's some flooding up north. So, Martin Palason, hello from Sukhothai currently. Hope you're enjoying it there in the land of dreams, the paradise that is Thailand. Jason and Mint says your place is looking great. Thank you very much. We got the windows going in soon. There's going to be a couple of vlogs this week showing you the process of the build. We hope it's helpful to people that are thinking about building in rural Thailand to show you can do it, again, on a budget. I cannot read the Thai name, but they say, hello, how much rice does your family produce? And does it have an impact on the cost of living? At the moment, a lot of my wife's father's land is rented out to a third party, and they kind of just pay him a bit of rent. So I'm not sure how much it produces, but what we do take from it is a year's supply for ourselves. So we put that in our rice shed, and that's going to last for the whole year. And we have a machine that dehusks it, which I think is now about 3 or 4 years old, but it's brilliant. You would have seen it on the vlog sometimes. We've got Ace 3, Samsung. Hi Ryan, greetings from Ipoh, Malaysia. I hope it's nice there. I got a lot of people watching from Malaysia. I noticed it in my audience metrics. It's saying a lot of people watching from Malaysia. So I hope you're well. Deborah Carter says, another day in paradise. And it really is. I'm just going to show you, instead of just my face. This is where we throw our stones, you see. And here he is, throwing those stones. And it is beautiful, it really is. You can hear that nice silence. Yeah. Well, I've got to do this first, haven't I? Yeah. So we'll do it later, that one. You can throw it though. Yeah. Go on. Oh. So we got our member, Abbas Mansour. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you very much for becoming a member of the channel. We're glad you enjoy it. I know you're a supporter of the content, seeing your names in our credit. So I hope you're doing very well wherever you are in the world, my friend, and take care. Heading for Karat. This is Globe Tripper. Heading for Karat South in rural area next year. Love the peacefulness of the local life. Yeah, I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it. It's not for everybody, our channel. There's a lot of channels doing, Bangkok and the city and stuff. Not everybody is going to enjoy the rural life, this kind of peaceful life, but for those that do, I'm glad that you do. Abbas Mansour. Let me switch back around. So, first time with you on live. I thought it will be on Friday. At the moment, I'm living every Wednesday because I have vlogs that come out on Friday and Sunday. So I jump on at random time. I've not been scheduling them. I just jump on when I think I've got a little topic to talk about, and today is just moving to Thailand and getting as free as possible. Oh, and on this note, I wanted to touch on this. Okay, I'm coming. So, one thing I wanted to touch on. You go and get in, go on. So about 6 years ago, I was browsing on a forum online of expats in Thailand. And I'd never really been to Isan. I'd not spent much time here. But there was an Isan Farang there that he said something on that forum that I'll always remember. He said, us Isan expats, we've got to keep our little side projects a secret. And it didn't really make sense to me until living here myself. In Thailand, you're very restricted in what you can do without a registered company, of which I have here. But anybody else is quite restricted in what they do. And with that comment, what he meant is he had a lot of little side projects bringing in income, just little amounts. So maybe his wife was selling plants or animals or pigs or whatever it is, and that was sustaining him in Isan. And it was just a comment that always stuck with me, to know that there's this kind of group of expats in Isan that all have these little side hustles. And something I wanted to mention on this stream is, if you are thinking about moving out here, and I'm not saying break the law, but what I'm saying is there are possibilities for side hustles. My wife's got a little side hustle. Lots of little side hustles. Her mum has lots of little side hustles. She sells mushrooms on the market. She sells the pigs, and she also helps weaving. So lots of little side hustles that don't make much money, but they do contribute to your overall income here. So it'll always stick with me, that comment. I don't know who the expat was who left that comment, but it stuck with me. Michael J says, hi from Pembrokeshire, West Wales. Hi, Michael. Long-time follower of the channel. I recognise your name from years ago. Jonathan Turnbull, yes, 2k per month to live in the Lakes, UK, and all the bills and the spends. So Jonathan's living in the UK, in the Lake District, and he's spending £2,000 a month. I'd say here in Thailand, maybe you spend half that, but it depends. Like, I'm not including my rent. You could live here, and I've kind of proved it on one of my vlogs, cost of living in rural Thailand. You could live off $300 to $400 a month here if you had your own place. So we're just gonna skip up here with Tis. Right, I'm coming up. Right, let's come up. This is our other house. Oh, no people up here, yeah? Thank you very much for the super chat, Abbas. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. This is where...
It's a food.
Okay. Right. So, oh, it's quite comfortable now. So let me just go back and pick up where I was in the comments. Abbas says, I want to retire and live in Thailand, and I want to live somewhere in the countryside, but I can't buy a house. There are ways, Abbas. It depends if you're married or not. You can do something called a superficies agreement, where you can take the land and you can rent it for 30... Tis? No, come on. He's just doing something dangerous on live stream. You can rent the land for like 30 years. And so although it's not your land, you have an agreement that says you are the legal renter for 30 years. And land is quite cheap here. So maybe you can buy something for 200,000 to 300,000 baht per rai. Maybe even cheaper than that in some areas. Just make sure it's got a shenote. And obviously you're buying in a Thai's name and then having that superficies agreement with the Thai. So that's what I've been told works by other expats. Tweaking Track says, good day, Ryan. Thanks for your content, fella. I really love your insightful nature and your journey. Thanks for following. Thanks for being part of it. We see all of you guys as part of the journey and our extended family. We got Lucas in Bataglia. The matrix is our mind, and as soon as we detach from the material city life, happiness comes in like a flowing river. Yeah, I agree. I think escaping the matrix is a mental thing. It's a psychological thing, but there are also physical and material things that you have to overcome too. You know, if you're a single mum with 2 kids and you're working 2 jobs in London, it's very difficult to escape the matrix through your mind because you've got responsibilities in this world that you have to fulfill. And so it's how do you get through that? How do you escape that as well as the mental freedom? I always maintain on this channel that it is ultimately reality is a mental thing. All that exists is the mind, in my opinion. But that doesn't mean we don't have our karma and our challenges and our dharma to get over in this real world. And a lot of people think the life that I lead is just one that is just like, oh, screw it. Like, I don't want any responsibilities. I sit around and do nothing. And that's very, very far from the truth. My life is a lot more active here on the farm than it ever was working in corporate. And it's a lot more challenging and it's a lot busier. So it's not that you just kind of sit and do nothing and you're enlightened or whatnot. This lifestyle is quite a busy, hectic lifestyle. Tis, don't go too close, yeah? Here he is, sat on the side. We've got our member, Patrick Whitcamp. Good to see you, my friend. From the Netherlands, long-term member. I always see you in the comments. Paul Kalkin. Here in Sweden, it's 10 a.m. So good morning. Chai Hi, loving the live stream. Your land's looking beautiful. Thank you very much, my friend. Rob C, have you thought about building a small pond large enough to farm tilapia and sell? Many people ask me to do fish, but it's just not my thing right now. And we have so many animals coming on the farm. The turkeys were born yesterday, and we've got potbelly pigs coming in January. So it's just so much happening going on in the farm that it's Damo doesn't want any more animals. Are you all right, Tis? He just I told you not to come on this walk, didn't I? Because then you got to do this. But now you're bored, aren't you? Yeah? What's that face? Right, be a good boy, yeah? Be a good boy a minute. That'll be finished soon. Right. We got Ross. Hi from Australia. Hope it's going well down under, my friend. Cosmo says, same plan for me, but I'm marrying a Thai girl soon. So you're getting married to a Thai, congratulations. Probably one of the best decisions you'll ever make. And it sounds like you've got a similar plan. So congratulations on that. We got Alex commenting from Kata Beach in Phuket. Good to see you, brother. The wife has 2 rai near Hoi Hin. Yeah, we spent a lot of time in Hoi Hin, and once you get out of the city, it feels quite rural there. And then you're in touch with civilization too, if you want to be. David Carr says, I'm 58. I don't smoke or drink, take drugs or chase women. I've been single for 20 years and I love it. I'm happy with my own country, my own company. Loneliness is a state of mind. Some married people are lonely. Yeah, I think you've got to be very comfortable with being alone. I spent a lot of time traveling alone, and right now, even though people find it quite strange, me and Damo live separately. She has her own hut and I have a hut. A lot of people say, oh my God, how can you do that? But it doesn't mean we get together at night and we watch a movie together and we're with each other all day. But Tis sleeps with Damo and they go to bed at 8 p.m. and I'm a night owl. So I don't want to keep them up. And I find that allows me to have time alone too, and she wants time alone. Sometimes Tis will come and watch a movie with me, won't you, Tis? What did we watch the other day? Do you remember, Tis? Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
Watched Charlie and the Chocolate Factory the other day. That's right. That's live stream. So yeah, get comfortable with being alone. You're born alone, you die alone, ultimately. There's only one of us here, if you catch my drift. Luz in Battaglia. Congratulations for Otis, man. He's a cute little man. He will grow up strong and healthy. Yeah, I mean, his diet's great. He's walking every day. He likes cake a lot, but he's healthy and he's strong. And I think this rural lifestyle really helps with that. Right, Sarah Beadle. Sunny but chilly here in Suffolk. Love your videos. What a stunningly beautiful part of Thailand. It really is. We're very lucky to be out here, if it's your kind of thing. Adriana from Madrid. Hola. Larry Solberg. Living in the rural areas is so relaxing. Every time we go home to Buriram, Pakam, I reboot my brain and forget all the passwords for my work. Rural life is the best. Yeah, sometimes you just forget what's happening altogether here. I'm doing a vlog coming up. I think it may be Saturday. My unusual life in rural Thailand in 3 minutes. So I think some people will enjoy it. I think it really captures what rural life is like. Dirt Road 4x4. Hello, brother. Good to see you. Finally got on alive. Yeah, I just jump on these randomly, my friends, so I can't give any advance notice, really. Abbas is from Bahrain in the Middle East. So yeah, I hope you can travel over soon, Abbas. Adriana would love to come to rural Thailand one day. Tweaking Tracks is also from Australia. I'm just going to jump to any other questions. Patrick Whitcomb says, the Isam Farang, perhaps his name was Kevin. This was actually 6 or 7 years ago. I read that comment, Patrick, so I doubt it. And it was a real random comment in the middle of a forum saying that if you live in rural Thailand, get yourself a side hustle and keep it a secret. Keep your side hustle as a secret, you know. Even I feel a little bit weird mentioning it on here if you're going to be living in rural Thailand. I've had registered companies. Everything I've done in in the kingdom has always been legal, and it still is under the law. So I mean, don't start up a business and start working. That's not what I'm talking about. But having a little side hustle between you and your wife could be useful. Oh man. So I'm just going to skip ahead to any questions. So Kumweng Mac says, I think some drainage around your house would be a good idea. Actually, the house is raised up, so all of our land has been raised up years in advance, so there's no flooding there. Everything rolls off the sides. So I really recommend, if you are going to build, make sure you raise the land up first. So I'm going to skip ahead to any questions. David Stevens, hi Ryan, how can I get to message you? Hi David, I answered your comment and my email is saxophonelounge@gmail.com. I left it in the comment there too. If you'd like to email me there, I know we were discussing the pig, the new pig, so we'll see. Just watching my little boy here on the edge. I don't know if you've ever seen those, I think they're Dutch kindergartens, but they just let the kids climb up the trees and they climb right to the top of the trees. It's an interesting way to have them. He's a great climber. So, Luz in Bataglia, I will pronounce that right at one point, says, true man, it became fiscal once you got in. In fact, this kind of modern slavery and how they keep the batteries in place. Yeah, it's very difficult to get yourself free from systems, but a big part of it is to reduce your expectations. I talk to expats here that, well, not expats, I talk to people in America and the UK that are planning to retire here. And when I ask them, maybe they're in the 40s and 50s, and I ask them when they're going to retire, they say 70s and 80s. Because they want to have like $500,000 in the bank or $1 million in the bank, whatever, or in some cases more. And I would say be cautious of that. Be cautious because, especially in rural Thailand, you need your energy and you need your health. So don't retire maybe when it's too late to enjoy it, And you don't need that much money in the bank, especially if you've got a side hustle and you own you own your land, like you have a place to live where you're not renting. That is important. Caden says, Ryan, what area can I rent for £600 a month? Oh, you mean in rural Thailand, like what kind of size? You get a lot for that. That's like nearly 30,000 baht. You would get a lot for £600 a month. Probably something the same size as that we've got with a house on it. The only challenge is in rural Thailand, people often live in the houses. It's hard to rent somewhere unless it's like a Farang's house that he's away some of the time and then he rents it out.
Look, there's a flying bird.
That's cool. And you probably want something a bit more permanent as well. So, Tis, we're going to go down now and walk back here and I'll help you down. Patrick, thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate that. I know you're a long-term follower and member of the channel too. I always see you there in the comments. I'm just going to help my little boy down here. Watch him, he's quite good. Why don't you get your shoes on then? Right. There we go. Go on then. Can you do it on your own? I always try and let him do as much as possible on his own without my help. That includes get his clothes on and shower and take care of himself, because that's life. Have to do that, aren't you, Tis? Good boy, you did a good job, yeah? You did a good job. Rob C says Old MacDonald had a farm. I couldn't agree more. Quite a philosophy for life. Craig Eckhart says, think of the fish as plants. Right, this is my issue with fish. Me and Damo discussed it, right? But she said there was a guy in the village that used to do carp.
In the village.
And one day, all of his carp got wiped out in one go. And then he lost them all. And he lost all of his investment too. So that's, and I'm not saying that happens to everybody. I know nothing about it. But that has been our reservation with doing fish in Thailand. Now, of course, I'm not actually allowed to do anything here. So I'm not allowed to have fish. And even our potbelly pigs, they don't belong to me. They belong to Damo. So if those potbelly pigs, if Damo is selling them, she can. But I'm not allowed to farm at all here. I can farm for my own food. And you're allowed to work on your own house and work in your own garden. The rules are very particular. But you are not allowed to profit from that work. So I cannot sell the crops and I cannot sell the pigs. Damo has to do all that, if you catch my drift. Cosmo, welcome to becoming a member. Thank you very much. Thank you for clicking that join button. Ricky Ricardo, Ryan, what's the most difficult to grow? I assume you mean plants, right? The difficult crop. I mean, for me or for Thais, because Thais can just grow anything here, but I'm not that great. Corn, all my cornfields keep dying because I keep doing it the wrong time of year. But Thais will grow it no problem, you know. So I think your easy stuff is all your basil and your herbs. Even pumpkin grows quite well. You know, we can get a few pumpkins off. But we really need to up our game. We need to up our food production. And I've said on the channel, 1 to 2 years, we need to be self-sustainable. We're good for the next couple of years and even longer, but we need to get to a point where we are producing at least 60 to 70% of our food. And I want to do that because I think that the world is in a crazy place. We were quite shook up with everything that's happened over the past few years. You know, it's amazing how fast your freedoms can be ripped from under you. And so we kind of want to be prepared. We're not preppers or anything. We're not thinking it's the end of the world, you know, the end is nigh. But I also want to make sure as a father that we have a place as a family and that place can sustain itself in terms of growing food, in terms of producing energy, in terms of having shelter, of you know, somewhere to live that's safe. I think that most fathers want that for the family. I think that's kind of an instinctive thing that we think about, that we concern ourselves with. So Caden says, can I find a cheap rent with my budget of £600 a month? You can, but if you want to farm in rural Thailand, it's going to be just a difficult find. I just had a friend in Pai that rented land and a farm and a house, and she'd been renting it for about 9 years, a long time anyway. And just now they've kicked her out. And so that's the hard part, because if you develop a piece of land that belongs to somebody else, then at any moment they can just kind of kick you out. So I would say, and I'm not recommending this, but it depends on your budget too, but buy in a Thai name and then do a super fishies agreement for a long-term rental of 30 years. But it depends if you have the capital up front. Or if you're married to a Thai that already has land. So, and many do, you know, many people have a little, because the families keep the land in the family, you see. So even if grandma gets sick and she needs an operation that's going to cost $1 million baht, they could sell some land, but they don't. They keep the land and they give it to the kids. And what a difficult decision that must be. You decide whether your mum's going to die of a heart attack and she needs this operation, or you keep hold of the land for the future generations. And that's quite a difficult decision. I'm sure you'll agree. That's not an easy decision to make. And it's one that we must continue to make. And that I teach Tis, even now, because our place is in his name, that he's not to ever sell the land. Now, the issue of doing that is many Thais put the land in the kids' name, and then the kids want a bit of money and then they sell it from under them. So that's another issue. So you've got to find ways around it. We got El Pepe from Madrid. Hola. Carol in the world says, hi from Prague. I love Prague. I spent a lot of time in Prague. I loved it back in the day. I can't wait to come to Thailand. Any tips for first timers? I think, you know, don't spend the whole time in Bangkok. I can only do a few days in Bangkok. There's a lot to do there. But I think if you can, at least get a weekend in Isan, in the rural areas. I stayed away from Isan for the first 9 years. So I never came, and it never appealed to me. But then I see there's so much here to be done. And there's a lot of Airbnbs popping up now where you can stay out in the rural areas. In fact, down the line, our plan B, as some may know on this channel, is to do an Airbnb. So we'll see about that. It's only a plan B should our self-sustaining not go quite well, but it's just somewhere people can come out of the city and come and stay rurally. It would be a little bit like a retreat, but not a yoga retreat or spiritual retreat. It'd be a get your ass to work retreat, work in the land. So not relaxing at all. And there'd be no activities other than hard manual labor. It's an interesting concept, I don't know. Cosmo says, you or Damo should start how to cook, because Thai food is delicious. Damo cooks a lot of Thai food, and it's on the vlog. She does a lot of pumpkin and lap and a lot of Isan dishes for me. And for me, cooking Thai food, I do cook it. I've cooked it at home for family. But Damo tends to do the evening meals now. So Shandy says, it's so much fun to see your family. Hi from Israel. It's beautiful to see we have people from all over the world that follow this channel, from all different countries. So Alex says, after 27 years here in Phuket, long time, I could easily stay in Rural Thailand now, but the wife doesn't want to go home to the village. That's quite peculiar, because usually a lot of the time they want to go back to the village. That's a long time, Alex, in Phuket. You are a long timer. That's nearly double the time I've been here. So you know it well. You know the place well. And yeah, you never left. Shane says, are you close to Buriram town? No, we're a couple of hours away. We're really outside of Buriram. You may notice I never really give our location, and we get asked a lot, could people visit and stuff, and I don't want to be rude, and I'd love to have more visitors, but we also got to think about the kids. We have a lot of kids on this farm. They're not just my kids too. I want to make sure that we kind of want to keep our location a little bit secret because of the kids. You don't want kind of people just popping by, or they've seen the kids on the camera. You know what kind of world it is. It's not that I don't trust people, and we have had visitors here, but I generally keep our location and stuff like that a bit of a secret. But we're way out of Buriram. Shane Zia says, oh, that is Shane Zia, and thanks for becoming a member, my friend. I really appreciate that. Pete says, hi, do you have a spiritual practice out there in rural Thailand? Okay, so I mean, some people will know, if you read between the lines of this channel, that I work a lot with plants and different entheogens, and I have done for about six or 7 years. Most of that has been pretty hush-hush, but I think that Thailand is having a much more liberal attitude now. These days, it's not so much required, because it's like Alan Watts says, once you get the message, hang up the phone. My spiritual practice, my spiritual yoga really is my relationship with my son, and my relationship with my wife, and my relationship with myself is the main one. And it's just kind of trying to keep it out of my addictions, not that I have to try much anymore, but staying present, being here, being a provider, being a protector, focusing on being present with my son and manifesting love, which he's feeling right now somewhat disconnected, because usually I would talk to him the whole walk, and I've been on the live stream because I asked him not to come on this one, but he's kind of followed along. But generally, my spiritual practice is my family, the yoga of relationship. I'm not into actual yoga. I think that life is a meditation. I don't think we need to sit and meditate, although it helps, of course. I think that life is a meditation, the whole thing. Dirt Road 4x4, thank you very much for the super chat, my friend. Really appreciate it. I noticed there's like 200 people on this live stream, and I think it's been going on for like nearly 50 minutes. So I think this will be one of my longest live streams, walk and talks. Abbas says, how about homeschool? I have 7 and 13-year-old kids. I believe this was my biggest challenge if I moved to Thailand. homeschool requires a lot of patience. I was a teacher before, and so it does require a lot of patience, doesn't it, Tis, for your homeschool? Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't daddy to do it.
Right, you do that then.
Yeah, but I didn't need daddy to do it. Daddy to make the one and here I've got a two one two.
We'll do that when we get back to the house. Yeah? Come on. And then we'll come on another walk, won't we? Well, I don't have this one, yeah?
Really?
Yeah, when we get back, we'll come on another walk. Homeschool is difficult, and but it's also very rewarding because I get to spend all my time with Otis, and I also get a little bit more say in his curriculum. So I've taught in Thai schools before. I've taught in 3 Thai schools. In Benjamin Rachutit Ramaha in Ratchaburi, I taught English and Thai. Then I taught in Nakhon Pathom, in Longri and Nakprasit, and I also taught in Kanchanaburi in Kanchanakrot school. So I've seen the inside of Thai schools, and I've seen the way, and there's many good things about that. There's certainly many positive things here, but I just feel like he's going to benefit more from learning with us and having Thai lessons and playing with the other kids, and he does have lessons outside of the homeschool as well, and he gets a lot of time socializing with the kids, because the biggest thing you hear from homeschooling is like, oh, but how will he socialize? And when you're homeschooling, you're not locking them in a closet. Like, it's a very social thing, and he socializes with a lot of adults, and he socializes with the other Thai kids. So I won't say it's easy, it's quite challenging. And I will also note, I noticed that your kids are 7 and 13. If Tis wants to go to school when he turns 6 or 7 or 8, he's very welcome to. I imagine most of the bond and the connection and the thinking happens between the ages of 4 and 7. My degree is in psychology, in particular child psychology as well, and I just know that bond is formed, and the way of thinking, the way the mind works, is very much between the ages of 4 and 7. So I'm quite happy for him to go out into the world and learn in a government school once we have the foundation set, if you know what I mean. There's a good book by Gabor Mate, it's called Hold On to Your Kids, if you want to know more about that. Mr. Boogang, one of our major members, long-time member, welcome to the live stream. Glad you finally jumped on. We've got Brian Hyder in Australia. We have to kill carp if we catch them because they're pests. Oh, I didn't know that. And thanks for being a member, Brian. Really appreciate that. Matty D signed up as a member. Thank you very much and welcome to the channel. Your name will be in the credits at the end of every vlog. Every member is mentioned in the credits, and every supporter of the content I'm going to be mentioning on the live stream, on the vlog as well. Carlos says, rock on, legend. Thank you, Carlos. I always see your comments. I appreciate it. Johnny in Asia in the UK says, good morning from the UK. I envy your life. Spent quite a while in Thailand. Totally addicted to your lifestyle. Thank you. I hear this quite a lot, the word envy, like of the life. And I'm really trying to pull the ego out of vlogging, because it's like YouTube and Facebook. These are very egocentric things. I really want the channel to be inspiration more than like envious. I want it to inspire people that you don't have to be rich to be free, and to take the jump and move to Thailand. And what is it to live in peace? What is it to live free from addiction? What is it to live as a father? What is it to live simply? What is it to live honestly? Honest about your own depression, honest about your own anxieties, honest about your own shortcomings as a human being, because I'm certainly not perfect. I'm the first one to admit it here. And yeah, I wouldn't say my life is to be envied. I think that there are things in my life that are very challenging as well. That I think everybody's got their own little challenges, don't they, in life, their own little karma. And there are things I struggle with in life, and I try to be quite honest about them on the vlog and the live stream. So yeah, nobody's free, completely free, and that certainly includes me. So I'm just going to skip forward as we come on to the 1 hour for any questions. David says, have you ever been to Australia and Tasmania? I haven't, and I've been invited by a friend who has a farm out there, a cow farm, but I haven't been. Abbas says 1 rye for 300 to 400 baht sounds good for 30 years and to build a small house. Yep, I don't know how it works out in practicality, Abbas, because I've never done it myself, but I've heard from other expats it's right. Alex says travel to Pakon Chai, Buriram once a year for my wife's annual college reunion. Yeah, nice place, Pakon Chai. Martin Pison says, could anyone suggest an Isan location to visit for a lone traveller in his 30s? I don't know if anybody can in the comments, but I'd be interested to see what the votes are. Chef Farang says, can Damo do a nursery for your plants? I buy many plants on Lazada. Yeah, you can get everything from Lazada delivered to the door, even out here. I mean, Damo says I should be sponsored by Lazada because we get so much from there delivered, our mushrooms and our plants and whatnot. But we have a nursery. It may not look like one, but it's next to the hot tub. Rick Hess, thank you very much for the super chat and the hippos. Really appreciate that. Thanks for following the content, brother. Love the nature, Dipani. Life is the meditation. That's true. Yeah. You know, like Ram Dass always says, if you never heard of Ram Dass, it's nice to go and listen to some Ram Dass on YouTube, especially if you're feeling depressed or down. He says, like, many meditators end up being professional meditators, you know. So it becomes more about I can meditate longer than you can meditate. So it's just another ego game in the end. It's just that I'm better than you in some way. And that's how I've always kind of seen meditation. Not for everybody. And I think it works and it's helpful. Meditation for me is especially helpful if you're in entheogenic session. So if you're going within and you're in some very far off landscapes, let's say, or difficult experiences, the ability to meditate and to focus on one's breath and come back into the body and is very helpful. And it has helped me through my ceremonies. Paul Carnell, thanks for being a member. He says you got the right balance. Yes, sometimes I'm out of balance, Paul. As you've seen, I went back to the corporate world for a little bit and sometimes things aren't in balance, but you try and stay on track as best you can. Let's see. Callan says, do you think the push to enable foreign ownership in Thailand will allow for widespread Chinese ownership, causing similar problems as seen in Cambodia? I think it well could, and in Bali we have that issue too, and the Gili Islands. So there were some beautiful beach bars there that I had friends own them, and they've all just been smashed down to bits now, and they've built over them like high-rise hotels, and they've really ruined them. And it could do, but I think that they've got kind of it's not really foreign ownership. If you look at the details of what they're planning to do, I don't think it is foreign ownership. You don't really own anything, in my opinion. You have to sell it. You can only own a certain size, and you have to sell it to certain rules. I don't think it is real foreign ownership. So Rob C said, COVID taught me that freedom is a state of mind. That's it. I think that's a nice way to end this stream. Freedom is a state of mind. I hope some of my insights have been helpful. Thanks again, Brian, for the super chat as well. A bit more for the solar fund. I did a post on the community page showing that I got him the lights, and I said thank you to you for last time too. Yeah, I think it's a nice way. Hayden Young says Ryan needs to be owned by Thais. Yeah, I think you mean the land needs to be owned by Thais, right? Yeah, I think it's a nice way to end the live stream, that freedom is a state of mind, but obviously we also have to overcome the obstacles of finance, of eating, of taking care of our kids, of doing what we've got to do in the world. And I guess, if anything, this vlog is documenting my journey, attempting to do that, to live frugally. And you know, the cottage is a very big expense, one that we only make once in a lifetime, but otherwise we try to produce as much as we possibly can and try to live as frugally as possible. So I'm going to allow everybody to say bye to Tis too. Tis, I'm finished. I'm finished now. Yeah. You have to say bye though, yeah? All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye everyone. I hope you found this live stream helpful. Tis has not liked it, did you? Because you want to play with Daddy, don't you? Mr. Boom Gang says, be a good boy, yeah?
No.
What happened?
No, because I'm very tired.
Come on then, I'll carry you, yeah? Come on. Put your shoes on, I'll carry you. I always carry him the way back. Don't I, Tis? They're not long feet, them shoes, aren't they? Is there a worm inside?
Yeah, I won't. Yeah, I won't for the lady.
Oh, can I have that worm? Yummy.
Thank you. Remember, people in a room.
Right, guys. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. Take care and be well, everybody. Hope you're all well.